Hey friends, Hattie here from Honeybee Stampers. I am here live to do our online workshop for the month of June. So the second Thursday of the month, that's kind of what I have on the calendar for right now, at 3:00 p.m. is the online workshop that I'll be doing each month. I am adding some new programs to Honeybee Stampers, so I may have to shift some of my regular scheduled programs around. But as of right now, the second Thursday of the month at 3 p.m., join me here on my Facebook group, Honeybee Stampers, for an online workshop. So the online workshop is an opportunity for me to highlight some product that Stampin' Up! Has available for purchase. And for today, I'm actually going to show off some of the Flowering Fields suite. So this is in the mini catalog, and you see I've written across the top here retired list because this catalog is actually retiring at the end of this month. So items that are in here, I've already marked them up, and I will do an official walkthrough of the retiring list so you can see exactly what's retiring, what's leaving, what's carrying over, which means you have another opportunity to purchase it later. But I will really highlight the stuff that is like a must-have, grab it now before it's gone. Now, the thing about the retirement list is it is while supplies last. So once it's gone, it's gone. And some of the items, if you experience the retiring list from the annual catalog just previous, things just kind of flew off the shelves, they were gone, and then I had some sad customers. So make sure you're paying attention to the ones that are leaving so you can get what you want. Okay, so this mini catalog has this really great suite of products called the Flowering Fields Suite. It's on page 14 and 15 of this catalog. Now this suite, some of it is retiring and some of it's actually carrying over, but the suite works so well together, I'm going to be using elements from each portion of it. For example, the Flowering Tulips, this stamp set here, and these coordinating dies, they are carrying over into the next catalog. So you have plenty of time to purchase that. But the sentiments are so great, you might want it now, so grab it while you can. And then as far as this stamp set and dies, this bundle here, this is retiring. This is called the Tulip Fields. This was so popular when it first came out, probably because of the dies, that it sold out and was unavailable for quite some time, and then they brought it back and now they are actually retiring it. So if this is one that you had your eye on, now's the time to grab it. I just checked the Stampin' Up! Website and they still have it available for purchase. These embellishments here are both carrying over. So this is the Evening Evergreen window pane check ribbon. It's super pretty. That's carrying over, and as well as the brass butterflies. Now, for our online workshops, I always give an ordering special. So the ordering special is if you spend $75 or more using the host code that I share with you today, then you are going to be able to get a free gift from me, directly from me to you as a thank you. And so you have to use a host code for that. And the host code for this month is HNH99BJF. And don't worry, I will include that in the description of this video so you don't have to, think too hard about that. Now, the free gift that I'm actually going to be giving is a package of the brushed brass butterflies. This is carrying over. It is a flat embellishment, so it's easy to place on your cards and it's easy to mail, which is super important. They're very pretty and they are at a high price point. They're $10. So you're going to get a $10 embellishment absolutely for free if you place an order with me between now and Monday. Monday is when I close this online workshop. Okay, now I want to show off this paper here. This paper is retiring and it is so gorgeous. You cannot not have a pack of this paper. This is 12 by 12 paper. You're going to get 12 sheets, 2 each of 6 different designs, and the colors are just vibrant and beautiful. They look so well with this stamp set that's carrying over. So if you are going to get the stamp set eventually, you're going to really want the paper too. Now I have the paper here. I've used it a lot, so I don't know what all the pieces that I have to show you, but I think it's just so much better to see it up close if you can. Hi Franny, good to see you. So here is, I just love this bright color. And then here's the other side. I'll show you the pieces I do have with me. Isn't that beautiful? And then here's the other side. What I really love about this paper is that you can actually, if you wanted to, you could pair the two sides together because they coordinate so well together. Stampin' Up! Typically does a good job of thinking through that, but sometimes the paper, when you look at DSP, the other side may be complete opposite from the side that you're looking at, right? So here's a beautiful design here. And in Holland, or in the Netherlands, they've got this amazing tulip. I don't know if they call it a garden. I think they do. It's I pronounce it Keukenhof. If any of you know how it's actually pronounced, please correct me. But or Keukenhof. Anyways, beautiful place to visit, and it's got all these amazing tulips and all the different colors, and they've got really large those clogs. I'm drawing a blank as to what they're called. I think they're just called clogs, right? Anyways, they have those that you can actually sit in. I have a picture of myself sitting in one. Hi, Linda Mixon. Good to see you on here. Okay, so let me see if there's any other patterns that I missed. I know that there's one for sure that I used a lot of that I don't have anymore, and that's the only one I'm not showing you here. Okay, so you see on one side, it's kind of like these, I guess more of a neutral design. And then on the other side are those beautiful colors. Oops. Except for this one. This one's got clouds. Okay. All those beautiful colors. Now I do have one of the patterns that I did not show you because I've used it, but I am going to use it on the card that we're doing today. So the card that we're doing today, let's start with this one. This one is a pretty simple card. And hi, Linda. The reason I am showing you this card is because I want to show you how this works. I had some questions about that. When some of my customers saw this stamp set, they were like, what is this even? And so I'm going to show you how exactly to create this field of flowers so that you can do it very easily on your own. All right, let me move all this to the side and let's just get started. Got to get all my pieces out here. Okay, so we're going to start with a basic white piece. Hello, Hannah Wilde. Thank you for joining me. And we're going to use all kinds of colors on this one. So I've already got the stamp. Let's see here. Got to move all my stuff around. Okay, I got to peel this stamp off, and we're going to use this one first. Okay. So when you have a photopolymer stamp like this, it's always recommended to place it on your surface first to allow it to get back into the position that it was designed, because sometimes if we try to place it with our own hands, we can move it, because they're so flexible, move it in a way that you don't want. Okay, now I'm going to take some paper. So this is the paper I didn't show you because I didn't have any more of it left. This paper was so pretty. I'm going to be using this in the next card, I believe. Yep. I'm using this on the next card, so you'll get to see that. But then here's the other side. When I looked at the other side, it just reminded me of rolling clouds. And so I decided to play with it and go off of that. So what I'm going to do is place this strip of DSP down here. And then I'm going to take this stamp and I'm going to ink it up with Poppy Parade. So if you're familiar with our DSP, you know that we always have the colors listed on the back of the DSP. If you're not familiar with it, then here's a little tip for you. Flip over to the back and you can see all of the colors listed. Whenever I'm designing, I always grab all of the colors of the DSP and I kind of use that as my palette to kind of figure out what am I doing, what am I designing. It just makes it so much easier. So I'm just going to ink this up. And I got to bring this down a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to just hover. I'm using this DSP as a guide first, in case I mess up. I'm just going to hover right here and stamp down. Okay, and straight up. That's the great thing about photopolymer. You can see right through it. Now you're going to need a Simply chamois for you to wipe off in between all the colors. That's a must. Now we've got this other stamp set, or this other stamp in this collection here, which looks like this. And to me, this kind of reminds me of a Christmas tree around the holidays, like at a fancy mall or something like that. So the next color I've decided to use is Blushing Bride. And I chose this because it feels like that has a little bit of Blushing Bride in it, and I wanted to tie that in with the clouds. So we're going to ink this up, and then you are just going to find that point here, and you're going to place this point, and you cannot go wrong with this, I promise. And you're just going to stamp like that. So now we're starting to build our field of flowers. We're going to clean this off. Clean off over here because I keep shaking the camera. And we're going to choose another color. I really loved these two purples together, so we're going to go with Gorgeous Grape. Same thing, we're going to kind of line it up here. Leave yourself a little room. There we go. I kind of stamped that a little close, but that's okay. Clean it off, and then we're on to the Highland Heather. Ink this up. Okay. And we're going to fill in this little triangle here with Highland Heather. Okay. Great. Take off that Highland Heather color, and we're going to go over to the other side, and I'm going to choose this time some Mango Melody. You could do a whole rainbow of colors, or you could do alternating colors. I've seen cards where people did that. They did just maybe the Gorgeous Grape and then the Highland Heather, then the Gorgeous Grape and the Highland Heather. It was just really pretty. And then we're going to do one more soft color. We're going to do the So Saffron. And we just need a little sliver of it here. But isn't that fun to be able to build that field of flowers? And I mean, honestly, you cannot go wrong. It's really easy. I had some people ask me like, how are you supposed to use these stamps? And that's how. So you could also, if you wanted to, you could turn your card this way, and you can actually do a field of flowers that were a little bit more narrow, and do a wider top there. But we're just gonna leave it like so. All right, let's grab our DSP. I hate to put adhesive on this pretty side, but we'll be using it in the next card, so don't worry. And I'm just going to place this at the top. Sometimes I feel that kind of feels like that looks good that way too. We'll do it this way and see how it goes, because my original one, I flipped it over. Okay, so I'm just going to line it up here, and I can tell that I've cut. I need to cut it. I need to trim off the edge. So that's an easy fix. We'll just take our paper snips and just cut alongside it. There we go. Okay, so that looks like some rolling clouds to me. I hope it does to you as well. Now we're going to take some scrap paper because we need to create our little windmill. All right, so we've got a stamp for that, and I chose Soft Suede as our color. I'm going to ink this up. And we're just going to stamp down. Now I wanted to add a little color to this, and hopefully you guys know this little tip already, and if you don't, here's a tip for you. Our Stampin' blender pens, so not the Stampin' blends, not the alcohol-based markers, but our blender pens allow you to pick up color, okay? And so I just am gonna pick up the color from the image itself and color in this little lighthouse, or not lighthouse, this windmill, sorry. Having a brain fart. So we're going to color in this windmill just like that. And I'm going to add a little bit of color here along the blades. Okay, and then to get rid of the color, you just kind of wipe your blender pen on your paper. I wouldn't recommend wiping it on a napkin because that will suck up the solution so much faster. But hopefully you can see the difference there where I've added some shading, just pulling the color from the stamped image. Now, of course, I have already die cut it for you. This has a die cut. You can always fussy cut, but who wants to do that when you can use your dies and your embossing machine, your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine? So here are the dies that go with it. The dies are probably the star of this bundle, but here is the die that you would just place over that image. I don't even know where I put it that fast, but you'd place it over that, run it through your machine, and it will cut it out perfectly like that. Okay, so this die set is so pretty, and I'm going to show you some more in just a minute. All right, so we're going to set that to the side. I'm going to show you one other little trick that I recommend. When you're die cutting some of these really intricate dies, especially like look at that bicycle and the blades there and this windmill, you want to be able to have adhesive that's already on it, so you don't have to mess with the liquid adhesive and get it all over your hands and all over your project. So I'm cutting out these a couple fences here, and I've already done it for you, but I'm going to show you how you can use our adhesive to be able to have adhesive on the back without having to use the liquid glue. So you may be familiar with our adhesive sheets. They look like this. They're really easy to use. I've already used this piece, so I'm just going to trim that off and get that out of the way. But you're going to take the cardstock that you're going to use to die cut, okay, and you just want to peel back the adhesive, okay, to expose the adhesive there. And then you're going to add your cardstock to the adhesive like so, and just use the amount that you need. So we'll just say that's enough for me right there. So we'll cut that off. We'll trim that down. Okay, there we go. Now what you have is some cardstock with a little bit of adhesive on the back. When you run that through the machine, you would take your dies. So we'll say that I die cut these fence posts out, right? This is what I did earlier. I ran it through the die cutting machine, and then out comes these cute little things with the adhesive already on the back, so you can just put it down on your project. Now you gotta poke all the little pieces out of there because they tend to stick a little bit more when you have that adhesive, but that's an easy thing to do. I'm gonna use my snips to do that. These snips are so sharp, you gotta be careful. Okay, one more little piece. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is attempt to use my fingernails to separate the cardstock from the adhesive. Usually that's easy. The adhesive backing, I should say, not the adhesive. Okay, and now this fence is sticky and it's ready to be placed down on my cardstock or my card. So I'm just gonna place it right there. Okay, see how easy that was? I don't have to fuss with all that liquid adhesive. All right, now we're gonna do the same thing with this other one. Okay. And let me get my windmill in here and make sure I've got it positioned correctly. Okay, and we're just going to do this one actually on the end. Okay, there we go. I am going to throw some dimensionals on the back of this if I have them. I might have forgot to bring my dimensionals, which is crazy because I use dimensionals for everything. You guys know that. So I'm going to just stick some glue dots on here for now. We'll stick that on the back. And then let me find another glue dot here. I'll just pop that right there. Okay, so there is essentially the front of our card. Now let me get the other pieces in. This one I used the pool party to kind of pull in some of that color from the clouds. But now I got to decide if I want to do the Poppy Parade as my background to kind of tie in the Poppy Parade, and I am going to use Poppy Parade for my sentiment. Or do I want to do Blushing Bride, which pulls in some of the color from the clouds as well. So just comment in the bottom there while I do the sentiment. Comment and let me know which one should I do, the Poppy Parade as the accent piece or the Blushing Bride. Can you guys see that? Poppy Parade or Blushing Bride. Let me know which one you like and I will use it. So I've already die cut a little circle out for my sentiment. And the great thing about these sentiments is they're photopolymer. You can see right through them, so you can actually see where you're stamping. We're gonna grab our Poppy Parade and ink this up. Franny says Blushing Bride. Okay, thank you, Franny. Anybody else have opinion on which color? And I'm just gonna stamp just thinking of you today. That's a great little sentiment to put on any card. You can just surprise somebody with a sweet card. Okay, let me clean this off. I do need to grab my dimensionals. Let me grab that really quick and I'll be right back. I have flip-flops on today and they are so loud. Could you guys hear me just now? It's funny. I usually have sneakers on in here because I'm moving all around the studio, but today I had flip-flops on. Uh-oh. Now we've got a poppy parade and a blushing bride. I need one more vote to make that determining factor, okay? So I'll show you. Let me stick the sentiment on there. Maybe it'll make a difference. We're just going to stick the sentiment right here. Okay, do we want blushing bride behind it? Or do we want poppy parade? Third person to decide, and that's the color we'll go with. Okay, let's fold this card base and give it a nice crease with our bone folder. And I'm gonna set this to the side and clean off my station until I get that third vote, and then we'll finish putting that card together. All right, thank you, Linda, and thank you, Franny, for letting me know. Let me see if there's anybody else that's mentioned anything. Okay, not yet. All right, let's move on to our next card. So our next card might be familiar to some of you who saw me at the SSAT event in Columbia. I created this as the make and take for that make and take night. And it is a fun fold. So you can see here that it sits up. It's kind of like a tent fold card. And that is what we're gonna put together today. So I'll keep this in the frame so you guys can see it. Okay, grab all my pieces out. Okay, so to create the tent fold card, you're going to need to fold this card base in half. This is just a half a sheet of the 8.5 by 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock. You just fold it in half like this, and then you crease it so that you can fold it back up this way. All right. And this is the mechanism here. Now here's that pretty paper. I used this side with all the clouds and that first card. This time I'm going to use the pretty side, the flowers. I love this side. Love, love, love it. So we're just going to add some adhesive to the back. And we'll just stick that on the lower panel of this card here. Okay. And then we're going to grab this piece of basic white and we're going to stamp a sentiment on here. So I stamped, "No one deserves a happier birthday than you." I think that's a great sentiment. I've also stamped love you so much" on here. It fit perfectly. I think I really love the birthday sentiment, so I'm going to use that one today. Let's see. Pull that off. Okay, and I'm going to stamp this in Poppy Parade. Ink that up. And you're just going to want to stamp down fairly close to the bottom so that you can make sure that you have room for your windmill. So there's that sentiment there. Okay. Now I showed you earlier, let's set that over for a second, how to put the adhesive on the back of your cardstock and then you die cut. I did that same thing with these windmills. So now I just peel off the backing and it's nice and sticky. And then I can place it right on top of here. So the paper that I'm using for this is a wood grain paper that has retired with that last catalog, that last annual catalog. But some of you probably have that wood grain paper laying around or you have access to some, so then you can do that as well. I just really think that that added some texture to the windmill, made it look cute. Now what I'm gonna do is just add a little glue dot to this. And I had several people say to me when they were making this make and take, you know, you really should have made that mechanical, like put a brad in there or something and make it spin around. And that's a great idea. I just didn't do it. So I'm gonna stick this windmill, the blades on like this, and I want to make sure that it's pretty low across the top here, if that makes sense. So not have them this way, but actually in an X versus a T so that it fits on my card. All right, now that I've done that, let's bring this in. and add some adhesive to the back here. Okay. For the purposes of the event, I did add some adhesive on the back, just to the lower part, because I wanted to make sure that when people put this on their card, that they didn't accidentally glue the top part down, because if you glue the top part down, you can't open it up. So there's that. I'm realizing that I forgot my little DSP strip that goes right there, so we'll just go with it. I think it still looks good. Okay, we're gonna add the dimensionals that I went and grabbed and pop up this cute little windmill. Okay, like that. Probably should have put it on here to make sure it fit. There. All right, and we'll take off this tear and tape. If you're somebody who does classes, if you're a demonstrator that happens to be watching me and you do classes, this is a great tip to use some tear and tape so that you can make your class go by a little faster and just make it easier for your customers. Okay, so I really should have brought this down a little bit. Let me do that. There. Okay. Stick that right there. Linda, do you remember making this card? I think you did. In Columbia. So here, there's that. Now we're going to put this on the bottom. So what I did for the bottom of this is I added our foam strips. We sell little strips of foam that are double-sided sticky, and these are typically used when you're doing shaker cards. So I put a piece of that across the bottom, and then I'm going to put this at the bottom of the inside of my card. I'm going to leave a little bit of a border of basic white like that. My nail polish is getting all over this card. So when you open up the card, it'll sit against that row, just like so. Okay, there's that. So here's the original card, and then I have some extra cards that I created using some of the other patterns of paper. So you've got this one here. I love that. Here's another one. Really easy to put this card together. And then here's one of my favorites. Okay, there's that. Let me bring in my other card. So we still don't have we don't have a decision as to which color, so I guess I'm gonna wait and see. I'm gonna leave this open, and then I will post a picture of which color we used as our base. So in this original card, and I did use some rhinestones on here, you could of course use the brush breath butterflies that you get for free if you place a $75 order with me between today and Monday. But this is the original with the pool party in the background. And then we're going to decide if we want to do the Poppy Parade as the background color or Blushing Bride. If you're watching this as a replay, please post on in the comments section which color you prefer. Okay, there we go. And then I will finish this card and I'll post a picture of it. All right, I hope you guys had fun watching that video. I only did 2 cards today, but I have some more videos planned for this month, especially with the retiring catalog and all the great sales that are going on. For example, I've got a video coming out all about the Kits collection, since those are on sale. Buy one, get one 50% off. And I'm telling you guys, these are fantastic for gifts. So if you're thinking of a gift for a friend, or even holiday gifts, you can get these because they're all inclusive, everything you need to create the projects inside. I'm going to do a whole video all about it later on. And I'm actually going to take some of these. I'm going camping for the first time. After 10 years, my husband has asked me for 10 years to go camping. He loves to camp. We've never gone. So this weekend, we're actually going camping. It'll be my first time camping. And he rented a trailer, so we're going to camp in the back of that, and we'll see how it goes. I'll share with you guys some pictures about that camping trip. I've asked my friends, and all my friends that I've talked to about it, they love camping. They say, my friend Kelly said it's super addictive, and so we'll see how it goes, you guys. I'm excited for Sterling, and I know Steve is super excited to go on his first camping trip with his little boy. And we're also going to take Sterling to his favorite. We're going to go see Thomas the Train. So stay tuned for some pictures I'll share with you guys about our camping adventures this weekend. All right, I hope you guys have a wonderful night or day. I'll talk to you all again soon. Bye-bye.